It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas everywhere you go.
It's looking like Christmas here in the WDTK studios. We've got our stockings hung with care, but I don't think they meant your athletic stockings, Al.
No, it was really bothering me. I actually wore my stocking this morning from the tree, and I had some Hershey Kisses left. So I do have some chocolate between my toes right now.
Well, you're going to have to take care of that yourself. So I am looking for... Oh, you know what? I forgot to mention that Christmas time or Christmas morning... my mom always made chocolate chip cookies, so we had these great big old chocolate chip cookies to sit down while we had the wrapping paper all over the place, and it is amazing how many toys we used to get. It was obscene, and to think that they were able to do that without credit cards.
Yeah, imagine that. Well, my horrification was when my son was like 2 or 3 years old, and you spent ridiculous amounts of money, and he was more interested in the boxes and the paper than the actual gifts. It was like, yeah, we're going to need it. I'm throwing the paper away, and he's getting mad at me.
No, I want that. Yeah. I got to save the box. I got to make a tank out of the box.
Right, exactly.
You're buying way too big of gifts. Networking Squared, Christmas morning. I want to thank everybody for being here. I wish we had some Jingle Bell stuff going on in the background, but we don't. But what we do have is even better. And Liberty Tire and Auto Care out of Waterford. Al, how would you like to introduce our guest?
Well, I would introduce Todd as, with the joys of doing the networking I do, is I would introduce him as my dear friend, because that's something that when you network, that's what happens. You develop relationships with people, and these become people that you consider your friends. So welcome, Todd. Welcome to our show.
Thank you. I appreciate being here.
Yeah, Mr. Todd Gulick, we appreciate you being here. And yes, we develop friends, and it's cool to have friends in the studio with us. Liberty Tire and Auto. How long have you been in the business?
I've been in this business for about 12 years, but Liberty Tire and Auto Care has been there in Waterford for 7.5.
Okay. And what kind of stuff are you doing out there?
We do everything on your car in terms of maintenance and repair. Everything from from oil changes and your brakes and water pumps, coolant flushes, to major engine and transmission work.
Well, one of the things that I was really impressed with, and when we were talking before the show, is we were talking about the percentage of work that you do. Is when I see a tire, I'm thinking that's where I go to get my tires. But what your location has is so much more. You were indicating that about 80% of your business is actually doing the mechanical work.
That's correct. We about 80% is repair and maintenance. 20% of our business is tires. It's called Liberty Tire and Auto Care for a reason, and that is we care for your car. It used to be a Goodyear dealer since 1979. So when we took over that building, I wanted to be able to take advantage of the public image, the community image of who we were as a facility, or who it was as a facility, and build on that.
All right, so you're in Waterford. I'm not really familiar with Waterford. I'm kind of an East Sider. I mean, I kind of know the area over there. How do I find you? Where are you at?
Well, we're on the southern end of Waterford, literally a stone's throw from the West Bloomfield border. So right there in the border between Waterford and West Bloomfield, in what used to be called Union Lake.
Okay.
Union Lake, I believe, lost its postal code back about 10 years ago, but because it was such an earmark, it's actually found its place again. The post office is actually recognizing Union Lake, but that's where we are, kind of east of Commerce and west of, kind of west of Pontiac.
All right, and is that your area? I mean, is that your hometown too?
I've been raised, lived in the Walled Lake, Commerce area since 1969 when my family moved out of the Detroit area.
Well, the one thing that I love, and I've been to your place, and obviously it's where I get my work done in my car, but it's one of those things where it's such a beautiful area, all the lakes and all the scenery around there. It's like, how can you go get your car work done and it be such a beautiful area to be in? It's kind of like an extra perk for you.
Yeah, and it also does make it sometimes difficult to find, but if you're familiar with the Cooley Lake Road area and Union Lake, we're kind of 2 miles east of Union Lake Road and Cooley Lake Road.
Well, one of the things and why we wanted to have you in here is that when you say somebody's in Waterford, and our listening area is really the Tri-County area, and I really want people to understand that there is value in making that, not trip, but having that ability to come out to your location, because there's so much that you offer that is not available and in my eyes, and I guess the term we used was safe haven. And I'd like you to touch upon that some.
Well, in an industry that's wrought with a lot of misconceptions and a lot of us as consumers. Prior to myself being in this business, I suffered from some similar circumstances where I was taken advantage of. I believe you can provide this kind of service for people, and everybody drives a car. So everybody needs this kind of work done. I believe you can provide this kind of service and do it with integrity and do it at reasonable prices and provide quality parts so that people can rely on the work that's been done and what they've been told.
And I think that because you are, I guess, a pillar in the area, it's something where your reputation is incredibly important, and you are the face. Liberty and Todd, you are the face of that company, and you wear that on your heart.
Well, and it goes down to relationships. You talked about networking, and it's really about I serve the same people that serve me in the flower shops, the hardware stores, the gas stations. We take care of you like you take care of us in other aspects of the way the community functions.
When you talked about networking then, and we are a show about networking, and you did bring that up, how important is networking for your business?
Critical. Because it is all about relationships. And it's funny because as people come in and get their cars serviced, we take care of them. They ultimately, if they develop an affinity for us, they want us involved in other things that they're doing. And what has happened over the years is we've got people who are saying, can you sponsor our softball team, our kids' baseball team, our soccer team? Can you help us with this fundraiser for our church, for this family that needs? And yeah, we can. But to be honest with you, there's only so much money that you can dole out to something like that. So what we've really done is we've started to focus on supporting organizations that our clients support. And this is where it ties into that relationship stuff. Because when we provide a service that serves people, then they develop a greater affinity for who we are professionally as well as personally on a more human level.
All right. Well, when you talk about service, and I'm sure you're not the one that's got your creeper sliding underneath the cars, how are you providing for service, and what kind of people have you got working for you? Can you explain that a little bit?
Well, I've always taken the position I'd like to hire the top 5% in our industry, because I'm relying on those guys to do the job, to do it right, to diagnose cars properly, fix it the first time. So I've got to have the best of the best. I've got 2 Master ASE certified technicians on staff.
Right, hang on a second. I got to go backwards. Al doesn't like those acronyms again. So ASC? ASE
stands for the Automotive Society of Engineers. And it's a certification level that technicians can obtain beyond what they need to. They only need to obtain certification by the state of Michigan to perform those repairs in a licensed facility in the state of Michigan. But they have gone beyond that to get certification with the Automotive Society of Engineers to esteem themselves, put themselves at a higher level. Requires more education, more testing. It's more expensive for them, but it makes them more the cream of the crop.
And really what we're looking at here is that, the way I see it is that instead of going to that corner gas station or something you're going to Google or whatever, you know that by coming to Liberty that's the kind of service that you're going to have. That's the kind of a mechanic that you have, not somebody who's just begun or doesn't really know or don't have that certification.
Correct. And sometimes it takes a while to find those people. And it requires people with good ethic, good work ethic, good intelligence, a genuine concern to care for people, because really the business that we're in is really caring for people. It's just their vehicle is the vehicle by which we care for them.
All right, and all right. So when they get down there, you've got these high-end mechanics, and they can talk to you if they walk in. They can talk to the owner.
Our clients?
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yep, yeah, Todd's there. I mean, I know I went in there and he was there. Todd was the person. He's the face. So it's not something where it's some unknown person, it's some unknown entity. Todd is the face of the place. It's either him or his other manager. And I know they're there. And I've heard nothing but rave reviews. I know 25 different people that go there on a regular basis. and can say nothing but the highest of accolades for this place.
So, and I'm assuming some of these people, Al, are belonging to our group, Local Business Network. Are they some of the people that are there at the Liberty Tire?
Some do, and it's gone beyond that. There's people that have been referred from other people, and so it's a lot larger than just LBN. But it's something where, again, I think that people need a safe haven. People need somewhere they can go and know that the information that's shared with them is going to be the real deal. And you were talking about a scorecard that is done when people come into your place. Can you touch on that, please?
Yeah, it's just a basic scorecard that all of our technicians will look over a car and look for any glaring issues that the car's owner would want to know about. And it ranges from everything from wiper blades to engine fluid leaks in an engine or a transmission, the condition of the tires, to how much brake pad is left. Even if the car comes in for a tire repair, they're going to be looking at some of those basic things. And it's not to, quote-unquote, upsell the customer. It's to let them know, to inform them, to educate them. And whether they're male or female doesn't matter. Generally, people want to know about conditions of their car. The cool thing is we developed a simple scale. It's a 1 to 10 scale that helps people understand the urgency or the seriousness of a condition.
All right. Well, we're going to get into that on the other side of the break here, and I want to talk about the facility itself. I mean, how many bays you got. I'm trying to get a visual of this whole thing, and then we've got things we want to talk about. There's the VIP program. You've got the Max Mileage Club. You've got the email club. You've got a lot of stuff going on there, Al.
I love it. I love it.
Well, we're gonna check in this. We got a lot of questions. Want to wish you all a Merry Christmas. We're Networking Squared. We're going to be right back.